Hello and welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I've got something a bit low-key. This isn't going to be for everyone. I really like doing these videos. Apparently Jasper's hopped on the couch as well. I really like doing these videos. This is a book review. Now, some of you may, if you're familiar with the channel, I've done these a few times actually, across varying months and sort of time periods like that. For, I think, some Godzilla, King of the Monsters one, I did a giveaway. I've even done a game one, which is for Borderlands, the Art of. I do them from time to time. I really like them. Normally they're alien ones, but I was sent a really, really great book, and it genuinely is really, really great. So I wanted to talk about it, but full disclosure, I was sent it by Titan Books. And don't worry, I'm not just going to be sat here talking about it, but it is this book, Blade Runner 2049 Interlinked, the Art. And what a magnificent book it is. It is a huge book. This is next to my head. Now, I really like these books. I like them because they are what you'd imagine, or what they are intended as anyway, I guess, a coffee table piece. And coffee table books are a thing of the past, almost, albeit this is a new book. But they're seldom produced, and in the world of going to digital and all this kind of good stuff, I really like the fact that Titan Books are just pushing on and just really doubling down on these magnificent books, and they genuinely are fascinating things. I really like these books. So, Interlinked, the Art of Blade Runner 2049. Now, I want to read off their website. I normally get sent, and again, full disclosure, because I'm happy to do these things and just say it, but I normally get sent a sort of a discussion piece with these books, which kind of says, from the author and things like that. I wasn't sent one with this one, and I don't know whether there was just a mishap, but I really like to read what they market the book as, and then what I take home from the book, to give you whether there's any disparity between the two, whether there's a difference, whether how they market the book is how I've received the book. But I wasn't sent one, so I'm on their website. It was released on the 11th of August, so I'm actually quite late to the table on this one. But it's US and Canada is $50, and in the UK and rest of the world is $39.99, which it's basically the same, £39.99. So it equates to the same, about $50. And they are coffee table pieces. That's kind of what they're marketed as, and for that price, I think that's reasonable, to be perfectly honest. Description of this book is: film audiences experienced a bold, breathtaking vision of the future in 1982's groundbreaking Blade Runner. With the critically acclaimed Blade Runner 2049, director Denis Villeneuve returned to that world as a young Blade Runner's discovery of a long-buried secret leads him to track down former Blade Runner Rick Deckard, who's been missing for 30 years. Now, that's obviously, a bit of a brief to Blade Runner 2049, but the description of the book itself is a companion to the art and soul of Blade Runner 2049, which is a really nice book. And I haven't got it, which is a shame, because I really like that book, and it's one of the ones I should have probably purposely reached out to Titan and asked for, because that's a magnificent book. If you haven't checked that one out, go and get it. God damn, it's a beautiful book. It really is. But this is supposedly a companion piece, right? Interlinked offers an unprecedented look into the creative process that went into making Blade Runner 2049. So it is a companion to The Art of. And it's illustrating how director Denis Villeneuve and his team took Scott's 1982 movie as a starting point and expanded the world by creating a new visual language infused with the original Blade Runner DNA. So, does this book do that? Well, what I'm going to chuck up on the screen now will be a bunch of images. I'm going to disappear, and I'm going to review the book as is, I guess. Now, naturally, as you can see on screen, is what you'd expect from one of these types of books. The artwork that is included within this magnificent piece is stunning. It's groundbreaking. For a film which had such an artistic vision, it's no surprise. It's almost an inevitability. The colour palette And it rings true from the concept art, like here on the screen now, those blues and the reds and that sort of orange tones, the hues that come through, versus what we actually received in the film. It's almost, you know, a direct crossover, and it's absolutely stunning. And I think what I found so special about this book is just the commentary from the artists. Take this quote from Dennis Gassner, for instance, when he says that on any film you need to consider what's going to make you feel the story. During development, we're telling the story visually through concept art. That allows everybody to weigh in with an opinion, and once the look solidifies itself, the movie can really begin. That's why I came up with the idea to ask the director to give me one word to guide the creative process. So when I first met Denis Villeneuve in Montreal, in the dead of winter, I asked him, "Can you explain the film in one word?" He paused and then said, "Brutality." That's where we started. My first focus was the spinner, because that's really the biggest set in the film, in terms of being the place Kay spends the most time in. So I took the original Sid Mead design, which was great for Blade Runner, but we needed to find a language for this new movie. So as you can see just from that one quote, the artistic vision and the design elements behind this movie were clearly inspired by brutality, which when now mentioned, you can really see in the film. It is a brutal representation of a noir cyberpunk future. Absolutely stunning to hear that. And also as well, these are things that you're not going to find elsewhere, these sort of quotations and the inspiration behind the film. Now, another large key factor in the film, and something which we see a lot of, and we saw it actually a lot in the original, was advertising. There is neon lights everywhere. I mean, one of the key elements of the trailer that dropped for Blade Runner 2049 was the Atari logo. You know, seeing that there was just amazing. It was a good retro callback. But we hear from George Hull the elements of advertising in this film. He says that we talked about using a combination of logos from 1980s companies for a nostalgic feel, mixed in with something new. I thought it would be dramatic to have horizontal ceilings of building architecture with giant advert screens looking down onto the streets from a mile up. Japanese signage was a big part of Blade Runner, and as a person of Indian heritage, I selfishly took the opportunity to add projected logos from Indian companies here. A keen eye could spot my daughter's name in Hindi on the blimp, and obsessive Blade Runner fans might spot the same White Dragon noodle bar logo from the original film. And lastly, before I wrap up this review, I want to leave you with one more quote, and it is from Scott Lukowski. It is about, well, basically it's about Agent K's apartment block, and how that initial quote that I started with, brutality, rings through even into Agent K's apartment design and the building block, and how that came together as well. The overall tone and atmospheric layers of the original Blade Runner were the foundation for this iteration of K's apartment complex. Now, just as a side note and further expansion of that, I think what he's referring to is almost the end of the original Blade Runner, when we are in that really awful, horrendous block where Deckard is facing off against Rutger Hauer's amazing Roy Batty, and obviously he does that just monumentally amazing final monologue that has obviously become so iconic. And we can see that in Kay's apartment block. We can see that brutalistic architecture. It's expanded upon, it's a little bit more modern, cleaner, sort of, but it's there. You can tell that it is there. Now, Scott Lukowski continues and says that the idea was to keep a derelict building alive in an impoverished and overpopulated district. Clotheslines and canopies are draped across a central court that extends into an abyss below. Above us, out of view, is a decayed glass aperture open to the elements, allowing the snowfall in. So would I recommend Blade Runner 2049 Interlinked as a companion piece to the movie, the original movie, and as well as they've said here on their sort of blurb, and this is kind of wrapping up that initial piece, as a companion to the art of? Yeah, I would. But I'd also actually recommend it as a piece just as it is. I myself don't own the art of, which is a shame, naturally, and I'm probably going to have to go buy it now. But this stands alone. It doesn't have to be coincided with that book. This stands alone as an absolutely stunning piece of literature, of sort of film history, and any fan of Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049 should go and buy it. It's fantastic. Now, I'll leave a link to Titan Books website down below in this particular page if you want to check it out. They do some great books, not only in the Alien and Predator franchises, but general movies, each and unto itself, loads and loads of diverse books they bring out. They're fantastic. I have reached out to them to try to get the 40 years, 40 artists in terms of the Alien franchise, as well as another book that has released in the Alien franchise, because you guys probably remember me doing these book reviews from them. But I'd highly recommend this book. It's fantastic. Anyway, if you've checked it out, or if you have it, or if you're going to have it, I'd love to know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And if you do enjoy me doing these art review videos, please do give the video a thumbs up, because it lets me know that you enjoy me doing these videos, and it also lets Titan Books know that you enjoy me doing these videos. And obviously, the more people that enjoy them, the higher the likelihood is that they're going to send me more in future. But anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching this video. I've been Mr. H. Take care.